Okay, so I'm popping in here for a little check-in on my progress with this crib size Checkie. And just in case you don't remember, this is the Checkie quilt that is in my book, Stash Work. And I made this one in piecely fabrics and also used random low volumes from multiple collections. But all the foreground is piecely. I quilted this one with these so pretty paisleys, and this is my second go at paisleys. My first go was on one of those pillows that I made last week, and it was a little rough, but I finally got a handle on the paisleys where they're all going in random directions, and I don't know, I found my flow. So this was a little bit more time consuming than, you know, say swirls, but it was also created this delicious texture. I mean, it is so nice. I think what finally worked is my consistency of space got better, and like I said, I was able to flip them all over the place. So I just finished today. I just finished putting the label on. So there's the Checkie label up close. Hand stitched this, and so it doesn't show, you know, on the top. And then I put my binding on. I just actually finished putting the stitching on the binding. So the back is pure Morning Frost, which looks really nice with the Peace Lily fabrics. I wanted to find a solid in like this color, but I don't have any solids that was that color. I wanted something a little bit dark because this is a very light quilt, but I never did find, and I've been looking for over an hour for the perfect fabric for my binding, but I couldn't find one. And I didn't want to use, you know, the Peace Lily fabrics because the designs are just a little bit big, in my opinion, for binding. I like little tiny prints or solids as my binding. So I ended up going with this pure Glacial. This is a new solid from Art Gallery Fabrics, and I can't say I'm like in love with it. I love this color, but I don't know about it on this quilt. It's fine, by the way. There's nothing wrong with it. I just think I could have found something better. I tried some of my fabrics from Garden Therapy, but they were just all a little too green for this very aqua teal look. So I went with Glacial, and it's on there now, so I'm not going to take it off. And I am going to chunky hand bind this binding, and I've got to pick out a thread. All right, so let's see. I have some pretty options here. So I've got this one. You know, I don't know what brand this is. This one's really old. That worries me about not knowing the brand. I think I might have bought this like my first year of quilting and never did ever use it. Now I can't tell whose it's by, but I love DMC. So that one looks pretty good. I have some lighter stuff, but I think that's too light. I have some darker stuff. That one's probably too blue. And then I've got, let me look in the store's shelves, and let me see if I can find some different colors. All right, so I found one more. I found 993. That is really close, but this is just, I don't know, maybe a hair lighter. I kind of like this one better. I mean, I don't think it would matter too much. I think I'm gonna go with 993. It just looks just a little bit, I don't know. This one's got maybe just a hair darker, and these I just don't, I'm just not feeling them. These are more blue. These two are blue gray. This is blue. I'm just not thinking that's going to be good for this fabric line. So I'm going to go with the 993. Let's see. And I'm going to use that chunky stitch to sew it. And I think that I could get it done tonight. Hopefully, because I'm kind of antsy to see what this kind of quilting, when it gets crinkly, I'm antsy to see what kind of look it has. I know it's going to be a lot of texture, but I'm just ready to see it. Okay, so I will finish my binding tonight while I binge watch something. I think I've already got my little sewing kit up there. So we'll do that. And then I was going to show you the journal. I used Peace Lily fabrics on top and then random low volumes as well. Morning Frost was what I used for the back, and then for the binding I used pure Glacier. The quilting, see if you can see that quilting, that was 1082 on the front, and then on the back I used Microquilter 7007. I always use a Microquilter 7007 on the back because it's so thin, and I use it, that 7007 color is silver, so it kind of just blends in with everything I put it on, particularly when I have like multicolored backing. That pale silver just kind of, you know, gets lost, which I personally, because I quilt so heavily, I don't want that thread buildup on the back, so I always go with that Microquilter for that very reason. 1082 Polylite is what I used on the top quilting. All right, and then 993 is what I'm going to use for the binding. So I got that all in my journal, and then for the batting I used Warm and Natural. And I've because the journal doesn't have a place for size, I've just been putting it right here in the notes section. This is just a random make. There's no purpose for this. I just wanted to see what Peace Lily looked like in a quilt. And then I quilted Paisleys. And then here is the one reflection I have so far, was that I don't work with aquas, or I don't work with cool colors that much at all. I prefer my warmer colors, but we put out these stash builder lines. So I wanted to do, you know, every color, even colors that I don't use as much. You may use cool colors all the time. So one thing I learned from using cool colors this time is I wasn't crazy about how the cool colors looked with the cream. I like how it looks with the white, like the stark whites or the bright whites. It looks great, but this is a fabric from Cinnamon Tea, and I don't really care the way cream and the aquas look together at all. So if I ever make another aqua colored quilt or cool colored quilt, I would even say that for blue. I don't think I'll like cream with that. I think I'll stick with my bright whites. Save cream for those warmer shades like orange, red, rust, brown, things like that. So that is what I put in my reflections. I'll tape a picture here when I get the quilt finished. But yeah, so far so good with this journal. We have these for sale in the shop. All the products that I showed you, the fabrics, the threads, I will link to that right below this video. And that's all. Thanks for watching.